Hello and welcome back to the Top Bins Football Podcast. I'm here again with Skunda and Joey joining me via Messenger. You there, guys?
Hey,
Yeah, you enjoying your evening?
how we doing?
Yeah,
We're
good,
good.
good,
Yeah.
good stuff. We're gonna get straight into a topic which I only discovered earlier, actually, thanks to Skunda. But it came out after the weekend. Referee Mike Dean has requested that he is not officiating in this weekend's Premier League fixtures at all, so he won't be taking any part in it. And that's due to the online abuse that he apparently has been getting after making some difficult decisions of late and controversial decisions, and obviously some people have taken it way too far. Abuse shouldn't be stood for, of course, we all know that. However, it's happened, and Mike Dean says he's received death threats, and it's just gone to such extremes, and as a result he doesn't want to officiate this weekend. Guys, yeah, crazy story. It's pretty crazy to believe that there's been so much online abuse, not just to there was the racial abuse as well. There's been so much general abuse online lately. It's ridiculous. Skunda, I'll go to you first. How do you feel about the extent, the lengths that people have gone to take? Yeah, it's definitely wrong. With Mike Dean.
It's just wrong. He's a referee. I mean, like, he makes mistakes, and of course, some mistakes we're just going to be like, how did you make that decision and everything? But at the end of the day, he's a referee. He's a human being. He doesn't deserve to get death threats. No one deserves to get that. I think everyone agrees with that statement.
I don't think it's just death threats. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mike Dean was the referee for the previous match we saw at the weekend between Fulham and West Ham, where Thomas Souček got a red card late on for West Ham as they finished the game with 10 men. Also, he officiated the Manchester United-Southampton game where Jan Bednarek was sent off late on. So both of those decisions were very controversial. They were both overturned after the decisions were looked at. Both overturned. However, it's just the extent of abuse is disgusting. But talking about the decisions themselves, we'll talk about the Souček one that we recently saw this weekend. Joey, what did you feel about that then? Did you, what was your first reaction when you saw the red card brandished to Souček?
I think it was, I think it was a very harsh decision. I would not even a red card. It was accidental, and I think everyone could see it was accidental. Just a little nudge. Was it of the elbow, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Onto the head of the player, but the player just overreacted, as they always do in the Premier League.
But the overreaction, we always get that in football.
I think they're practicing their.
We always get that overreaction in football, don't we?
Football.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. Yeah. All
You know-
the clubs, I guess.
If you don't mind me interjecting here, I personally think that, I'm not saying that the decision was correct. I think we were all quite surprised to see a red card given there. However, I do feel that Thomas Souček, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here, but I feel that maybe the way he lifted his elbow there, he was trying to get it out of the way. I think we can all agree that. However, I believe he could have got it out of the way, by not raising it. When you're raising your elbow, you're running a major risk when you raise it, and I just feel like he could have moved his elbow kind of down towards, down closer to the midriff section, and therefore he probably would have got away with it a lot more. Mitrovic is up. Yeah, go on,
I
Skunda.
feel like yeah, I get that. It makes sense, but it's one of those things. Surely players shouldn't have to constantly worry about exactly where they're. Because if it's a mistake, he's not intending to. Can you imagine playing a game where if you touch a player by accident, it could be a red card. You don't want to be on edge, all the time. People, they're going to make mistakes like that. It was a bit clumsy, I would agree, but it's just a bit like it's happened, and people make mistakes. It shouldn't result in something so harsh like this. And I think it doesn't help, like when Joey's right. It doesn't help that, football. It's not just this particular player. It's just football nowadays. You're told. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these players are getting told if you get touched or touched in the wrong, like in the head or something like that, just go to the ground. I don't think it helps. None of this helps, and it doesn't help the referee either. Why? No other sport. I don't see in any other sport referees having to deal with players constantly diving or faking or trying to get away with things like this as much as football. It's so hard to be a referee in this sport, I feel. When you constantly have to dealing with players basically cheating,
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, death threats and stuff, that's obviously taken it way too far. And Mike Dean has opted out of this weekend's fixtures. I mean, why do you two feel that this week in particular has seen such a rise in online abuse cases? With the Martial and I think it was Twanzebe, and then there was Reece James at Chelsea, racially abused. Why do you think there's been such a rise all of a sudden?
I feel because teams are, teams are desperate for things to go their way, and I feel like the fans are desperate to see their team win. Win a game and get up the table and go for the spots they deserve, and I think it's disgraceful, really. The way the fans are treating the referees, and I just think it's absolutely I say ridiculous all the time, don't I? I need to find another word.
That's because it's true. It is true.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
What else can you say?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know
it's
what
just
else I
wrong.
can say, to be honest.
I have full
Just,
confidence.
as you say, Skanda, they're all human at the end of the day. Every human makes a mistake, and they got to cope with that, and they got to live with that. And it's not easy. I feel like the psychology here is that us fans think VAR will help referees make better decisions on red cards and yellow cards, or players being sent off, or who are diving in the box. Is there really is a touch and everything, and it should make it easier for the referees to make their decisions. And I feel like there's as I was saying, because they can see it clear on the TV and they can go back and everything. It's clear, for some of the fans, they may be screaming at the TV, going, "It's a foul! It's a foul! It's a foul! It is a red card." It's like, when really, no, because you've got to. There's so many things they've got to take in account. Like, is the player really hurt? Was it accidental? Did he mean it? Is he stepping out with the challenge? Is he not, or is he not, or is he? No, because Bednak's, for example, Bednak's red card. Really, that was. Yeah, the camera angle was very. It was very hard to say whether Bednak did touch Martial or not. But when he said Martial, there's a clip. If you watch that Southampton Man United game, there is a clip, and I think it's on BT Sport. There is a clip of Bednak saying, even Martial said it's not a foul. Even Martial said it's not a foul. So really, it's not really down to the referee. I think that decision should have been down.
No, you can't put it on Martial. You can't. It has to. These decisions are down to the referee.
No, that was not a penalty. That was no way of sending off. Let's get cracking on with the game. But obviously Marky.
No, because the thing is, we have a problem here with players, because obviously players are diving, players are making a meal of things, but I'm almost certain they're getting told to do that. I mean, if you guys played in football teams, I'm pretty sure we've all been told. Like, I've been told, if you get, tackle, if you get fouled, just go down, just go to the ground, because it makes the referee have to make a decision on that. And it's almost like when it's in the box, or if it's someone's hit you in the head, you can either get someone sent off or you can get a penalty or something.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to get told off. You don't want to be put on the bench because, you didn't go down. I told you to go down. If this happened, you didn't go down, so you're going to be on the bench. So it's not. I don't know. I don't know what we can really do in this situation.
No, yeah, I think you're right,
help referees.
Skander. Players are so much cleverer these days, and that's what I kind of meant when I said about the Souček thing.
Do you mean clever, or do you mean more?
Do you think it could have potentially been?
Taking acting
do you think it could have been intentional?
Well, no, cleverer, Joey, because players these days, they know that the referee is going to have a hard decision on his hands. They know that he's going to give a penalty if they go down when there's the slightest of contact. So it's clever at the end of the day. It is clever. Clever is the word to use because it's conning the referee. It's being smart about the game. That's how the game is nowadays.
It's so wrong though, isn't it?
I know it's wrong, but it is just the way it is.
The referee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and it's hard. I feel like we've gone a bit too. I feel like we've gone too far with this. Like, it's a contact sport, and I know obviously I know this decision. He elbowed him in the face. Yeah, but it's just like. It's almost as if we all know, if someone touches you. You ever see those when players like headbutt each other and it's like the slightest touch in the head and then players get sent off? So it doesn't hurt any of them. But
yeah, I know. Yeah,
but it's always like, it's a head injury, or you hit someone in the head, therefore you're very close to getting a red card, or you will get a red card. And it's just like you said, players are clever. Football coaches or football teams telling their players to do this. They know the rules in that sense, and they feel like, well, we can get an advantage here because if you go down, if someone hits you in the head or something, you can get the other guy sent off. Yeah,
no, definitely. So, yeah, it's been clever about it, and it is unfortunate with Souček. I mean, you could just tell that he's the kind of player who, wouldn't mean anything bad to anyone. Like he just gave that impression when he got shown the red card. Utter dismay. But I'm just saying the kind of clever aspect. If you raise your elbow, my personal opinion is you're what am I trying to say? You're running a huge risk. The referee is going to look at that and be like, well, why is your hand up there? Why is your elbow even up there? It shouldn't be like that, but it is.
Yeah. And I feel like as well, because referee on the pitch, Mike Dean, it's been throughout the entire game as well. So he's been running around, he's tired, he's physically and mentally fatigued. And now he has to make this last decision. He's getting told as well in his ear that look at it again. I think it's a red card. That's probably what he's been told. That's why he's been told to have a look. So he's got other staff, like referees in the VAR system, telling him it could be a red card, have a look at it again. It's just he's almost more likely to agree with them.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the other referee's fault then as well for peer pressure?
I thought obviously they play a part in the decision, yeah. I mean, but again, you can't just. I don't know. I don't think you can just sort of blame the referees completely on this. I mean, again, they make mistakes, so the whole situation is just so. It's just so sad. I feel like because we've got to a point where things like this, every single game, things like this will happen. And referees always have to deal with it. And the one time they get it wrong, things just always explode. They always explode.
Well, it's even more magnified now, isn't it? With the use of VAR, when they make a mistake, the pressure is even bigger, than it was before.
Every fan are thinking, now we've got VAR, it's going to be easier to make decisions, and it's going to be you know, that it should make it clearer for the referees, but it doesn't. It just makes it harder for referees, in my opinion.
Well,
Because
I don't know. I don't know actually. No, VAR I do think makes it clearer, but the amount of pressure the referees get afterwards is just so intensified, you know, and they can't take it. Obviously, Mike Dean, this is a great example. You know, he obviously just can't take what's happened from it, which is understandable. But like those decisions in themselves, they were incorrect, and I understand why fans were annoyed about it. Like that wasn't a red card for Souček, and that wasn't a red card for Bednarek. So I can understand why fans are frustrated, and there is a monitor there to look at several times, and you still get the decision wrong. I mean, that's very frustrating, really.
I think
I
the
feel
argument
like
the argument
if
was
you look at-
that it was
what
a
about the,
clenched fist. Did you guys hear that? The argument was that it was a
Yeah, I
clenched
heard
fist
that,
when he
yeah.
went to elbow.
Yeah.
What's that?
The argument I heard was that it's a red card because Souček, I can't pronounce
Yeah,
his name,
Souček,
had a
yeah,
clenched
Souček.
fist. Had a clenched fist when he went an elbow. So I'm just trying to imagine like trying to move my arm around someone, just imaginary person, without a clenched fist, and it's just I don't know. I actually don't really know what feels natural to me. I don't know about you guys. So I'm not sure how
think
they
it
really
was-
came to that decision.
I think it was.
Um,
Yeah, I think more it came down to it as dangerous play, isn't it? I think that's what Mark. What's his name again? Mark Wiley.
Mike Dean.
Mike Dean. Mike Wiley's another one, isn't it? Mike Dean. I think he had he was sending him off because it was dangerous play because he was elbowing the. If you're elbowing a player, I think that comes under the category of dangerous play, doesn't it? So maybe that was he's going by. Maybe he's just trying to go by the rule book, but at the same time, should give a benefit of the doubt to Souček, who, if you see, like you say, you see it millions of times, you can tell it's accidental, but it's because Mitrovic makes a meal out of it. You know, his players are conning the referees to give the players a red card.
And I think as well, like referees, because Mike Dean made a bad decision before in the Man United game, and it's kind of funny in a way because it was a bad decision, but it didn't change too much of the dynamic in the game.
No.
And it's just a bit sad because even after something like that, he's going home and he's getting all this abuse and everything. He's got pressure the next game. And the next game. And referees are always going to make mistakes. The same way players always make mistakes. The difference is when a player makes a mistake, sometimes it doesn't result in a goal or anything. And referees, it's almost as if they make one mistake and they've got everyone turning on them.
Yeah. I don't think
because
that...
players miss penalties. Players miss penalties. Players misplace passes. Players are in wrong positions. Players make bad tackles. All of these things always happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd forget about them if your other teammate covers your back, wins the ball back, or your teammate scores a goal afterwards, or something like that. And so you just sort of forget about that mistake. But it's not like that with referees.
No, you're right.
And I feel it doesn't help.
Yeah, because even if they make a ton of good decisions afterwards, the bad decision always sticks out, doesn't it, for referees?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I've got full confidence that like people like us, we wouldn't go to that length to sort of racially abuse someone after a match. I mean, we get frustrated, obviously. You know, we curse and stuff when our teams lose, but I don't think we go to that length. I mean, I just don't understand it. There's obviously people out there who just never learn. It's just crazy. Like the most angry that I've ever got at a referee, as a situation we touched on before, was Tom Henning of Rabo with the Barcelona-Chelsea game when Chelsea went out having had 6 penalty appeals, I think, like turned down. That was the most angry I got at a referee. But even so, I mean, that referee came out afterwards and said, like, I think it was quite a few years afterwards, and said that he's been getting all this abuse online and stuff, but it's taking it just a bit too far, you know. But I can understand frustration, but there's a limit.
You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because we're in a pandemic, and not a lot of people know they're stuck inside their own houses. They have nothing better to do than to vent their anger online. That's why. That's why I think that's why the racial abuse are coming in, and all the social abuse is coming in, because they've got nothing else to do. And these are the sad people that want to vent out their anger and abuse and come out with abusive messages towards these people, which is just,
I think because it's online, they can sort of get away with it.
they just don't have a life.
Yeah, no, they can get away with it. No, you're right. But even with the red cards rescinded, I mean, you think that there wouldn't be so much of a backlash with the
Exactly.
decision being rescinded.
Exactly. It's like I made a mistake. We've made a mistake. We've looked at it, and
Yeah,
we've we've done as far as we can to rectify it. We've done that now
Yeah.
as much as we can. We can't sort out obviously inside the game, but afterwards it's sorted. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I've told you before I've refereed. I've done 5-side referee. I remember, I've made mistakes. I've known I've made mistakes. But once you finally make that decision, you can't really turn back on your decision. I remember, and it's kind of hard because I make a mistake and I hear some shouting, and it just sort of puts me under pressure. I'm like, I don't want to make another mistake. And then it makes my job harder, and I'm just trying to referee. And I make another mistake. And then now, because I've made two mistakes, and I know I've made a mistake, but I've already called a decision. Now that I've made two mistakes in quick succession, the other team because it's against one team. There's two mistakes for another team, and so that team, one of those teams is now calling. I just hear it, oh, you cheat! Calling me a cheat. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I made a mistake, but really calling me a cheat? It's just like. God.
Yeah, it's just human error at the end of the day. Yeah.
It's a bit ridiculous,
Oh, hang on, lad.